Good morning. This is Morning with Marcia. Today I'm going to be talking about how to gradually release control to the students by the use of timers. As we progress through the blended learning process, you're going to notice that we're going to release the ownership of time management to the students. And we really need to make sure that we're doing this in an effective way. So when we get started, I have examples here of like when we set up checklists, we want to make sure that we're setting up checklists that say set your timer for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, because certain activities might take 5 minutes, certain activities might take 15 minutes. Then eventually, as the kids go to phase three, where they're choosing and creating, this is our new checklist. I'm really excited about this. But as they get to phase three, they're going to be going and they're going to be setting their own time, saying, this should take me about 10, 15, or 20 minutes. The whole idea is that we have to teach time management to our students. If we don't, and we just give them a checklist, well, we're going to create a classroom full of procrastinators. So we really need to start looking at how we can work on classroom time management with our students in a easy release process. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is just simple timers. When you have a checklist that says set your timer for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, where do they set their timer? Well, of course, if you're a one-to-one school, you can set your timer on your Chromebook. If you are not a one-to-one school, or even if you don't always want the students on their Chromebooks, then maybe what you could do is just go and buy some simple kitchen timers. Okay, I love these kitchen timers. I went and I bought like 20 of them at the Dollar Tree. It was really inexpensive. Went back to the classroom, it has a little magnet, and I had them all up on a smartboard. The students came in that day, they grabbed a timer, they went back, they set their time. By the end of the week, it was so obnoxious because all we heard was ding, ding, ding. So kitchen timers are really a great ability for the kids to keep track of their time. But the same way, it kind of gets annoying with the time. So just kind of watch that. These are cheap and expensive and they work well. They can set their time for however long. It dings, moves them on. So after the epic fail of the kitchen timers, I went back to the drawing board with a group of teachers and I'm like, what else could we use? And we came up with sand timers. And in the couple games that we had, we found sand timers. But then I went to Amazon, one of my favorite stores in the whole world. I found 10-minute timers, 5-minute timers, 20-minute timers. So the kids just go, and if they need to be out something for 15 minutes, they just go and they set their timer for 15 minutes. The sand drops, they go and they move. Now, when we actually deployed this in one of the fifth grade classrooms, we saw one of the students, he was doing sustained reading. So he was doing sustained reading for 20 minutes with his sand timer. What happened was the teacher started talking, giving directions. It was the cutest thing. The kid literally tilted his sand timer to the side and he waited for her to be done with the directions and then he restarted his sand timer. I like these because they're easy, they're inexpensive, I mean super inexpensive. But one of the things that becomes a problem is if the kids really like their digital content, look how easy it is to restart and reset their timer, right? It's not really a foolproof system yet, but they're good to have, they're easy, inexpensive, and you can have a whole line of them ready for the students. So another thing is that when we're doing this individual timed rotations, I really got to watch my teachers because now they're not moving the whole classroom from one group to the next with a set timer. They're just kind of letting the kids work as she's pulling different kids up into that small group instruction or a mini lesson. So I have to make sure that my teachers are constantly meeting with everybody. So I came up with their timer. Their timer is a cube timer. And what it is just a basic cube. And I'm going to turn it on here so you can hear it. So there's 5, 10, 15, 20. The one on the blog post actually has it so you could there's 2 sets of them for $8 and it has every time increment you can imagine. But the way it works is that you have it sitting on your desk and then you rotate it. So you got 5 minutes, bingo. Now it's 5 minutes, starts counting down, flip it back, 5 minutes goes off. So these like little cube timers are nice for my teachers because they don't have to get up and grab their phone. They don't have to go up and set their timer on the board. They have these just sitting at their small table, working with the students, and they all know time is up. Okay, so this next timer is for students that really just have a hard time getting their work done. Now, I joke about this. This is just seriously a joke. But it wouldn't be great if we could like shock them, be like, all right, get back to work. Like, hey, get like, like a dog collar. Trust me, I'm not going to shock children. But we did find something that's going to vibrate that gives them that like just like your smartwatch, your Apple Watch when it vibrates to tell you to stand up, this does the same thing. But what we like about JimBoss is the fact that it's set up to interval timers. So I'm going to set it for 8 minutes with a 2-minute transition. Now, this is for those kids that really struggle getting their work done. So by the time the second timer goes off, they should be back to work. But what's really nice is it does it for 4 circuits. Yes, that's right. This is a timer for like circuit training. So when people are working out in the gym, they could be like 30 seconds, 5-minute, 5-second break, 30 seconds, 5-second break. So it's set up so it's an increment circuit trainer that you can use. But it's not bad. I mean, the vibration is just like a little click, like our old pager vibrations. So this is a JimBoss. It's really good for those students that just need that push. I wrote in the blog post stating that these are expensive, so I wouldn't get one for everybody. I would just get those for those students that really need help with their time management. All right, next, one of my next favorites is, I did not find this. This comes from one of my schools, Millsap Elementary. And when I walked into their classrooms the other day, they had these glowing balls. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is a glowing ball that is going to have time set. So at the bottom of, on the back of the ball, it has 1 minute, 2 minute, 3, 5, 10, 20, and 30 minutes. So when I change the colors, it's going to indicate that that's for 2 minutes, that's for 3 minutes, that's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So now while the kids are reading or they're working, they just set the timer and then this will glow. One, it's indication for me saying that they're on 10 minutes at that station, or when that light goes off, I could be like, hey, is your light off? I think you need to keep moving. So these are really nice. They do not buzz, but I like the fact that it's just a soothing, easy. We're seeing the kids everywhere loving to use these when they're doing sustained reading or they're working on a group project. It just gives that cool little ambiance of a soft glow. So what I also like are these are rechargeable, so no more need for batteries. I can recharge them. The downside to this is the fact that they are pretty pricey. So that means that I would probably just buy 4. One for the independent, one for digital content, one for future ready, and then one for the hands-on learning extra if they need it for vocabulary. Then afterwards, if I get more money, I would go and buy another set. Just because the fact that it's just a signal that the time should be up, they can set it and then move on. So these are my cool timers that you can use that are physical, that are easy, they don't beep. So those are those. Next one I'm going to talk about is online timers. Okay, so here are some of my favorite classroom timers. Now I want to stop and I want to talk to you quickly about when you project up a timer onto your smartboard or interactive panel or just using the projector, that's a really expensive timer. But when we're deploying this, sometimes we use these timers as just as like a key to like get them aware of how much time's going. And eventually, like after a week or two, we now put that interactive panel or smartboard back in the rotation for students to go up and use during their checklist. So here are some of them that you can use just to get the kids familiar with how much time they're using. This first one is called Classroom Screen. I actually have a video of this. I'm going to show you a video of the teachers using it. Let me explain to you how it works. First of all, it's all your smartboard tools in one. Free, no login, no username. So you could change the different backgrounds. So I could go over here and I could change like languages, sorry. Here's my backgrounds, the wrong button. And I can even make it so it has all these different images you can do. And I could do live footage as well as, if I want a campfire, I could come over here and turn it into a campfire. So then it's going to look like there's a campfire burning in the background. Kind of fun. I have the ability to have random name chooser, so I can just go up quickly, random name, choose my students. Sound. If while I'm doing this and I'm deploying our checklist, I want to make sure that my kids don't get too loud or too crazy. So this sound check will go through and it will like ding every time the kids get too loud. Really good. You'll see it in the video. QR code, if you have them scan in, like, hey, I'm here, they can QR code scan in. You can draw. You can write, which is what I have here. I put up a message like, good morning and welcome with Mornings with Marsha. Today we're talking about timers. They're my fireplace finally switched over. I also have like noise level. So, okay, what noise level do we want it at? Should we be at a whisper? Should we be, it's okay to talk? Just examples. I have my green light, yellow light, red light. So I can set that so the kids know, like, okay, it's time to go. I also have what time it is. Yes, it is 6:52. Actually, it is 5:52 because I'm in Chicago today. And then I have a countdown, so I can actually set my countdown timer. And then I just hit play. Now, the way that we roll this out is that this is just to signal to the students like how much time has passed. Some kids would come up here and say, okay, I'm going to set this for 10 minutes, and the whole group would be like, all right, 10 minutes. And it's just a signal. Okay, if you are ready to move, you move. If you're not, don't worry about it. But this classroom screen is really user friendly. Okay, now let's talk about other timers. You could definitely go to YouTube and search countdown timers. There's some really fun, easy countdown timers that you can have up on your board. In fact, if you're having kids do some interactive panel stuff, maybe just have those timers in a small spot. So now we have 5-minute timers, like this one, countdown with people that are awesome. Now, that's a really fun countdown timer, but it gets kind of distracting because all I want to do is watch the people versus get my work done. But regardless, it's kind of fun to get going. Could be a good transition at the end, clean up, have that one playing. So search YouTube, see how many you can find, see if there's something that like sparks an interest to you or to the students. And then the last one I want to showcase is classroomtools.net. There's a lot of different timers in here, but the one I really want to showcase is this countdown timer. You can set multiple countdown timers, and then there's going to be like a quick little chime or a song that goes along with it. All of these are free. I didn't have to log in. There's no username or password. They're just free and easy to use. So again, the reason why we're talking so much about these timers is that we really want to gradually release the control to the students. Eventually, they're not going to have to set a timer every time they start working on it. They're just going to work and get stuff done. But if we don't showcase what 15-minute feels like, then they could be seriously silently reading for 45 minutes of the class period, or they could be working on the computers for 45 minutes. I do want to end with one thing. Since this is a kind of phase 2 is work at your own pace, if their timer goes off and it's been a 10-minute, 15-minute timer and they have one more problem to finish, I always tell my students, finish it. Don't feel like you had to go and leave that one thing incomplete. So go ahead, take that time, finish that activity, then move on. Today, I'm coming to you live from Chicago. I'm working with Deerfield Schools today, and we're doing like a mini conference today and a workshop tomorrow. So thanks for joining Mornings with Marsha.